Welcome to Daily Tax Savings. This is Tony Novak here to share a few points on saving taxes and staying out of tax trouble. I apologize in advance if this one is a depressing one, but the topic is what's the worst that can happen? So if you don't pay your taxes, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to highlight just four of the, I would say, worst case scenarios. So let's start with state taxes. The worst we've talked about before is to not pay sales tax. If you're selling something online or in person that's subject to sales tax, the state will have revenue agents show up at your door, knock on your door, and if you're selling at a home, they'll knock it on. They'll come to your home, and they will pursue relentlessly until you start collecting and paying sales tax on the things that you sell. They'll even go as far as to physically shut down the business. That is, put a bolt and a lock across the door. In some cases. So that's a pretty bad outcome. Uh, State income taxes, not so bad. However, states around here, and it seems like a growing number of states, are sending their unpaid taxes out to private collection agencies. And if you've ever had to deal with a private collection agency, you know that it can be a pain. It can be really annoying, just a emotional hassle. They really they can't do anything legally, but they won't do anything else legally, but it can be a real emotional hassle. And state taxes don't go away for a long time. So that can stretch you on a long time. Regular income taxes, that's your federal income taxes to the IRS. The two worst things that they do are liens and levies. So a lien for most people is on their home, and it makes it difficult for you to get a mortgage or sell a house. It's just a hassle. But the lien just really sits there. It doesn't do anything except sit there and make other future transactions difficult. If you're in business and you're looking to borrow equity out of your home, that's usually when I see the tax lien get to be a real problem. The other issue is levies, and those are pretty scary. That's where the IRS will actually go in and notify your bank account, send us the balance, whatever's in there. They'll send to your employer, send us most of your paycheck. They can't take all of it, but they can leave you really struggling to make ends meet until you do that. What they don't want to continue to collect levies. They want you to make a deal with them to catch up on your taxes under a reasonable basis that works for both the IRS and for you. I'm skipping over rare cases where the IRS does have the ability to come in and take a business asset, take a home, force a sale of a home. Those are so rare that we're not even going to talk about them here. The last one, though, that we should talk about, trust fund taxes. If you employ other people, if you have employees and you are paying them a salary and you're supposed to pay FICA taxes, Social Security taxes, those are called trust fund taxes. And if you don't pay those, the government looks at that as the same type of theft or stealing as bank robbery or some. You're taking an employee's money and you're taking the government's money that wasn't yours to begin with, and you've spent it on something else. Not only will the IRS pursue those collections ruthlessly, but they will also look at who else had access to the money. Do you have partners or shareholders? Was your spouse involved in the bookkeeping? Were there even the bookkeeper? Did the bookkeeper pay other bills and they should have paid the IRS? The IRS can go after personally every other person that had a financial interest and access in not paying those trust fund taxes. So that's a pretty nasty thing. That's it for today. I would love to hear if you have any stories to share or questions about that. I'm easy to reach on social media, but if you want to talk with me one-on-one, that's easy to do. Find me at the website, taxproblems.cpa. Click the Let's Talk button, and it's easy to send a text or make a call, and I'll look forward to chatting about that specific situation. I'll be back tomorrow.